In this movie, we'll be talking about how to install MAMP. First off, go to mamp.info and go ahead and click the Download Now link for MAMP. Now, for the purposes of this class, you won't need MAMP Pro, so just go ahead and get the free one. Click Download Now, and as you can see, it's a very large download. I already have this downloaded, so I'm going to cancel this, and we'll hop over to my Downloads folder. Go ahead and extract the zip file just by double-clicking on it. And here's a PKG file that we can install. If we double-click on that, it'll open up an installer. We can continue through the installer, accepting the license agreement. And if we want, we can customize this and uncheck MAMP Pro. You don't have to do that, but you can if you'd like to. Then click Install. It'll go through a couple of steps, a progress bar will go to the end, and then it'll say this software has been successfully installed. Now I've already installed it, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. If I open up the Applications folder, keyboard shortcut that's handy is Command-Shift-A. That'll take you directly to the Applications folder. And if we scroll up, here's MAMP right here. So we'll go into that folder, and then we can launch mamp.app. And when I do that, it'll launch and it'll pop up, and it'll start up my servers. Now if you go into Preferences, you can configure a lot of things. Start, stop, what happens when you start MAMP, what happens when you quit it, and do you want it to open up the start page? What ports does MAMP use? You can customize these if you'd like to. For the purposes of this training, I'm going to leave them at 8888 and 8889. You can configure some PHP options, like the PHP version you're running, and you can configure where Apache looks for your files. In this case, I've chosen the desktop and my working files directory. This means when I open up a web browser, if I go to localhost 8888, it'll take me to my working files folder. This means if I want to go into unit 5 here and open up persistent.html, I can either type it directly into the URL bar, or I can click chapter 5, choose persistent, and it brings up that page. That's how we're going to be loading all of our pages in browsers throughout this entire training. Now you don't have to worry about configuring MySQL because we're not going to be using it during this class. If you get a green light, that's a plus. Now one of my favorite things to do is if I click Preferences, under Start Stop, I can tell the computer not to stop the servers when I'm quitting MAMP. This means I can open up MAMP, it'll start my servers, and then I can quit MAMP, and my server will still be running. So if I open up Google Chrome and I go to localhost, you can see it still serves up web pages. So that sums up this movie on MAMP.